I have made the best taco that I've ever made in my whole life, and I'm going to show you how I did it, the process, so that you can make the best taco in your life. Also, it's going to be some good groceries. Let's get started, y'all. So I'm headed over to my buddies over at Colonial Meats. They're in Trinity, North Carolina, not far from where I live. Great group of guys. They have my product there, my heifer dust, chicken dust, all that. And so yeah, we're going to go over there, going to get some meat for our Birria Tacos. I walk in, I tell them what I'm after. Hey, I need a chuck roast, about 3 pounds, and I need some short ribs, about 3 to 4 of them. And this is one of my favorite parts, watching professionals do their thing. They cut that chuck roast fresh, they trim it up just right, and then they take those short ribs and split them down the middle as well. That right there is already telling you this is going to be some good groceries. Once I got everything loaded up, it's back home, and I got to start building that flavor, because birria is about layers and flavor. First thing I grab is my molcajete. Love this thing. And real quick, huge shout out to channel member Dan M. He's been around a hot minute and one of my original channel members. He sent this to me a long time ago. This was back at the old house, and I absolutely love this thing. Dan, I really appreciate you, brother. This thing gets worked a lot. So into the molcajete goes about 20 cloves of garlic. Yes, 20. This is not the time to be shy and thinking about giving your wife a little bit of sugar later on, all right? I add a little bit of salt. It acts as an aggregate, and I start grinding that down into a paste. Once that garlic is nice and smooth, I add about a tablespoon of ginger paste. If you want to do fresh ginger, go right ahead, about a thumb size, and that will work just fine too. Mix that up, and you got a thick, fragrant paste that already smells incredible. Next up, we got to prepare some vegetables. I'm using about 5 Roma tomatoes here, and I quarter those, and then 1 yellow onion, and I quarter that as well. Over to the stove we go. Medium-high heat saute pan, a little bit of oil. Use whatever oil you like. I happen to use some Wagyu beef tallow because, well, I had it, and why not? Now we want to toast up some peppers. This is going to be your flavor here, y'all. I'm using 5 ancho chilies and 5 guajillo chilies. There are chili arbos in traditional birria, but listen, those things are spicy. In my house, don't play around like that. If you like heat, add them. If not, you still got plenty of flavor without blowing your head off. Just a little bit of oil in the pan and put the peppers in, and you just want looking for a toast. You don't want them to burn. Just move them around so they don't do that. Pull those off, put them, set them to the side. Same pan as the peppers. We add a little bit more oil, and now the onions go in. I let them get just a touch of char and a pinch of salt to help draw that moisture out. And once they're looking right, the tomatoes go in. We cook those down until they soften and start breaking down as well. At that point, the peppers go back into the pan. And look, we're just trying to just kind of get them all together. Also, your ginger and garlic paste, I want to put that into the pan as well and let that get a little bit of that pan goodness. Okay, a little bit of heat helps bring the flavor out, and you're not wanting to go long because you don't want to burn that. Add a little water to help soften the peppers, and here's a pro move. I rinse out that molcajete with a little bit of water so you get all that ginger, all that garlicky goodness right into your pan. We're going to add 1 cinnamon stick, about a half a tablespoon of Mexican oregano, and about a 1/4 cup of Hussy's Fiesta dust because we ain't playing games, y'all. Let that cook for about 3 to 4 minutes, stirring everything around. Add a little bit more water if needed. You want things to be soft and not dry. Water, I did about a 1/4 to a half a cup is what I use. Then I added about a tablespoon of Knorr tomato and chicken bouillon, followed by a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Just a little bit more salt to round things off. Give it one last stir, and once everything is nice and tender and smelling absolutely unreal, we're going to put that into the blender and blend that until it's nice and smooth. Give it a taste, and trust me, that's a moment worth capturing. It's rich, savory, and deep. That's your birria marinade right there, my friends. Ooh, that's good. Now, for the meat. Into a big stock pot goes the chuck roast, the short ribs, and then you pour that marinade right over top. Then I added 2 28-ounce containers of beef stock. I used some of that stock to rinse out the blender too. Again, no flavor left behind. I toss in 3 to 4 bay leaves, and this cooks for about 3 hours or until everything is fall apart tender. Now, here's a real life Hussy moment. I didn't babysit this pot for 3 hours. At about 2.25 hours, I had to take Mason to ball practice. So I turned off the burner and just let it sit. When I got back later that night, the meat was perfect, tender, relaxed, and all ready for me to shred. I pull the meat out, put it onto a cutting board, and look at that beefy goodness. Beefy goodness. That's basically my middle name, y'all. Hussy, beefy goodness, Hussy. I strained the broth to remove all the solids. Yes, I made a bit of a mess, but that's just part of cooking. Then the real magic happens. This is why you do this recipe the day before. That broth goes into a container, put the lid on, put that into the fridge. Overnight, all that fat rises to the top and solidifies. That fat is gold, okay? Don't throw it out. That's what you'll use to dip your tortillas in before frying them. All right, going back inside, I pull the meat off the bones, clean out any gristly bits, and chop up everything with a cleaver. I toss that into a bowl. Cover it and into a fridge as well. Overnight magic, folks. The flavors just get better. At this point, I'm tired. Kids are in bed. I'm done for the day. It's time for some magic to happen to me upstairs in the bedroom. And no, not that kind of magic. I'm just trying to get some Z's, y'all. So that's it. Birria done the right way, low and slow, layered flavor, and a little patience. Next up, we turn this into tacos. And trust me, it's going to be some good groceries. Oh, my word. What a terrible idea it was to carry all this. Whew. What in the world? Whew. Why I chose to carry all this out here with my coffee, I don't know. It's early. I need coffee. I love coffee, so yeah. All right, what do we got here? What do we got here? We got that consommé that we put in the refrigerator. I almost dropped this, so everything broke up. Let me take you in so you can see what I broke up. This is where the fat has congealed, and that makes it so much easier. When I did these the first couple rounds, I didn't do this step. It makes it much easier. This is an aluminum pan that I am going to put the fat in, and this is going to be what we fry the tacos in, or the shells, or the tortillas, whatever you want to call it, tortillas. I wish it would have been a lot more dramatic if I wouldn't have shook all this up. I tell you what, y'all, man, this was so good, and I can only imagine. It's like with anything else, when you let things sit, like soups, your chili and things of that nature, it just tastes better. Just tastes better. If I had a bigger spoon, this probably would have been a little bit better. I'll tell you who else. Got some eyes on these Birria tacos. Old Jeff over there. Boy, I can see it. He's foaming at the mouth. He's wanting some of these things. You ain't getting none, Jeff. Nope. Not today, Jeffy. All right. Well, this is pretty good. It's got a little bit more, just kind of clinging to the sides, but you know what? That's all right. Well, that's about as good as it's going to get right there. And to be honest, I'm a little bit surprised that there wasn't a lot more fat, but as this warms up, it's going to come up, probably half of this, be plenty. I'm going to put that over onto our Blackstone, and I'm going to set this kind of over the side. We got to get a pot. I got to get this broth, consommé, whatever you want to call it. I got to get it going and get warmed up, but that's here in a minute. The star of the show, the meat. So just like with the consommé, the meat, man, it had so much good flavor. Again, highly recommend doing this the day before. Shout out to La Capital. Their explanation of Birria made it so easy. And you alter these things just kind of the way you want to do things. That's the glory about doing things at your home and having the items to do it with. So just do things the way you want to do them. All right, we got this just kind of separated. We're going to set this over here. Get you a pot just like this. We're going to pour our consommé in here to warm it up. Man, that is rich, some rich stuff right there. I mean, look at that right there. My goodness. I'm going to put this over onto the griddle. I got our oil, I got our fat, I got it. I'm going to put it maybe like right there just to get that heated up, because that's going to act as our frying agent for our tacos. Now we need to get some cheese going, and the cheese that I like to use is Oaxaca cheese. If you can't find Oaxaca, you can do Monterey Jack. Is a good melting cheese, and mozzarella. Believe it or not, mozzarella is used in quesadilla tacos as well. Also, it's like a queso quesadilla cheese. It's a very big melty cheese as well. Oaxaca cheese is going to feel similar to like a mozzarella. It's pretty cool that it looks like it's like wound in like a rope or something. I don't know. I don't know why they do that. Any cheese experts out there? What about you, Jeff? You a cheese expert? He ain't know that. He's a judgy expert. It's what Jeff is. Let me get me a tray. Put my cheese on. All right, cheese grater. We're just gonna grate the cheese. I don't know where my little whiz hickey thing is. I got a little thing that I can put this in and I turn it and it makes short work of cheese. I'm missing a part. Don't know where it's at. This cheese too, you can also just kind of pull it apart as well if you don't want to grate it, but I recommend grating for the most part. Last time I did these on camera. I did them with my buddy Steve Schmidt. He's on the griddle crew, really good guy, old Steve. We had a really good time. Honestly didn't know what I was biting off. I thought I could knock this out in no time. And you know, it ended up being an all-day affair. We did it in the Instapot. We didn't do it on the stove, which you can do in the stove. I've often thought about, you know, putting the chuck roast and the short ribs in the smoker. That way you get some smoke in there. I mean, there's all kinds of ways, whatever, you know, you feel froggy, you just jump on whatever you think. That's the joy of doing it yourself. Make it your own. So that means don't critique what I do, all right? Just kidding, just kidding. Just critique away, critique away. About tired of this cheese though, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I really miss my thing. Looking over at our oil, it's kind of bubbling away, doing just fine. Consommé is gonna take a while. I want to put that on the stove, but it'll get good. It'll get there on that Blackstone. No big deal. This right here is about good enough. I wasn't sure, 2 packages. So I do have a bag of mozzarella that I can also use. Let's give this oil a stir. Look at that. Woo. Y'all know what that looks like, don't you? Good groceries, that's what it looks like. Come on, we got our cheese. All right, Maggie, go, lay down somewhere. For those of you who don't know, Maggie is my dog. She likes to be right up under me. We're almost ready. A few other things. We gotta get toppings. Really, toppings are very just easy. I just like some white onions and cilantro. I keep it real traditional. Just a fine dice on that. This should be enough white onion. Just a good half of white onion. Put that into a bowl. Next, just get you some cilantro. I like to kind of chop off the top there. I like a nice fine cilantro. Some people put this in their consommé as well whenever it's done. And all I'm doing is just walking the knife, letting it do the work. Put it right into our bowl. I am going to move our oil. It's kind of maybe up here to the top. Well, my bottom. Okay, I'm gonna put it like right there. I'm actually gonna kind of put that on a low heat. I'm gonna move this over here. Actually, I'm gonna move it right there. Start stirring this up. Still got a little ways to go. It's not quite warm, so I'm gonna let this get warm and we'll come right back. I think that's good. All right, so our consommé, it's warm. Our oil, it's warm. We need to warm up some meat now. I mean, we're about to make things happen right here in a minute. I'm going to put some meat over here just to the side. I'm going to get it warmed up, ready for our tacos. So right now, I have all my burners. This is off right here. These two, all 3 of these right here on low. So low, 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 and off. All right, get ample amounts of meat down. And now's a good time to taste your consommé. Mine needed a little bit of salt. So I just put just a little bit of salt on mine. And now we're just gonna come in with some of this consommé and put onto our meat, just like that. And a little bit of juicy juice, okay? A little juicy juice. There we go. Now that's what makes having a griddle really, really awesome. You can do a lot in one place. All right, let's make some tacos. What do you say? Talk about our tortillas. Gotta use corn. I tried to use flour when I did these the first time with me and Steve. And I'm gonna tell you what, flour just didn't do it. Gotta do corn. So that's why I like to have your oil. It's kind of right here. You wanna dip your tortilla right into that oil. Put that down. Bring coming right here so you can see this. Look at that. Put that right there. Dang boy, dang boy. These things, they are so darn good. That'll be enough for right now. That'll be enough for 1 serving for me. What I like to do is I like to get that first side. I like to get it kind of warm. I like to flip it over to the other side. And now, just gonna come in with our beef. Beefy, beefy, beefy. Now it's time for the cheese, y'all. You want to make sure you put plenty of cheese. Gosh, I smell this already. It is phenomenal. You can see that cheese, it's just melting already. Enough cheese. All right, let's take our tortilla and we'll just kind of take your spatula and push it over just like that. Just like that. Put those over there. Gosh, my jowls, they're salivating right now. They are salivating. Now, what you can do is take a little bit more of this oil. Woo-wee, boy. Woo-hoo. Have fun with this. This is a great time. It feeds a crowd. You want to do something really awesome for a little get-together? Do these tacos. People will go crazy for them. That's how you get your buddy to come over and do something for you. Be like, hey, y'all, yeah, I kind of need to pick up all the dog poop in the backyard. Can you help me? And they'll be like, no, man, I got something going on. I'm fixing Birria Tacos. They'll be like, I'll be there in 5. I'll be there in 5. Now we're just gonna flip our tacos over. The idea here, y'all, is to get these crispy, okay? You want them to have a nice little crisp. They probably need a little bit longer, but I mean, that right there, that's kind of what you're looking for right there. Want them crunchy. Woohoo, boy. Let me see, I might make a few more. Put these over here to the side. You always want to make some to share just in case you got company coming over. For me, I'm just gonna eat them all myself. All right, let's get us some beef. Beefy, beefy. Cheese. There's not one thing better in the world than Birria Tacos. Got 4 more going. Let's go. Let's see where these over here are. Yeah, boy. Dang it, son. All right, let's plate these up. Put some consommé in a bowl. Let's try these groceries. All right, let me get these in a order here. 3. There we go. Let's head over to the cutting board. All right, boy, we got them suckers there. I'm gonna get some of our juicy juice, consommé. Get some of that right there. Yeah, buddy. We got our cilantro. We got our onions. Got some limes. This is what I like to do. I like to put a little bit of onion and the cilantro right into my consommé. I'm gonna take our lemon, or not lemon, it's lime. Put that in my consommé. Man, oh man. Look at that right there. Look at that, y'all. This is tacos of tacos right here. Let's give these a try, man. I've been waiting for these things ever since last night. Super, super hot, but I'm willing to take the risk. I'm gonna eat it before the consommé. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you hear that crunch or not, but it's there. It's meaty, cheesy. The cheese and that the meat is kind of forming a crust right there. Dunking in this consommé. My word. That is the tacos of tacos. The creme de la taco. A little cheer wine. Y'all, there's a level of complexity here. The chilies are kind of warm now. I didn't go hot with this. The chilies, the arbos, the little ones, a lot of people use those. I didn't. They're hot. And my family likes these, but they don't like them hot. So I just used the guajillo and the ancho. That meat's super tender. The meat's super flavorful, cheese, creamy. I was gonna make a sauce with this, but you know what? Last time I made a sauce, I didn't really care to really even use the sauce. Y'all, I highly suggest you make these. It's a time commitment, but starting the next day, you'll be fine. Perfectly fine. Y'all, I appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I sure would appreciate it. And go check out my website. Got a lot of cool stuff. So with that said, I appreciate you. Love you.